Good evening and welcome to the Bedminster Township Committee, our regular scheduled meeting for March 21st. It is 7:01. Recognize that we have quorum of Township Committee with Committeeman Stevenson, Committeewoman Moreski, and Committeewoman Fernandez and me here in person. Committeeman Hickey has an excused absence. Ms. Ray, may we please have the Open Public Meetings Act statement?
Yes, Mayor. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Township Committee was sent to the Courier News Somerville, Burnetsville News Whippany, and to all subscribers and posted at the Township Municipal Building on January 6, 2022.
Great. Thank you. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So before we start the substance of tonight's meeting, a couple things we want to cover. One is to note the passing of Bob Merriam. Robert Merriam was a longtime member of the Bedminster Planning Board before it was a combined board, and served on the board as vice chair. Our condolences go out to his widow and the rest of his family. COVID numbers, total cases, 1,043, 7 fatalities, just as I've talked about those numbers before. That's actually up 4 total cases from 2 weeks ago. So 4 new ones over 14 days. And once again, as we said, it's with the Omicron surge behind us, hopefully we continue to be flat as we move forward. With that, let's go to public comments. Ms. Ray, do we have any member of the public participating via Zoom or by phone?
No, we do not, Mayor.
Oh, we did not do the, yeah, we did the open public meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, we did.
Oh, it wasn't in lesson, sorry.
I do.
Right before the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, so there's no members of the public via Zoom or telephone, and no members of the public here. Okay, so we'll proceed to approval of minutes. We have 2 sets of minutes to approve, the March 7 Township Committee meeting and the March 14th Township Committee budget work session. Any comments to those minutes that have not otherwise been provided to Ms. Ray? Seeing none, may we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Permits and raffles, we have 3. First is an on-premise merchandise raffle to benefit St. James School on May 16, 2022, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow Country Club, 811 Rattlesnake Bridge Road, Bedminster. Second is on-premise 50/50 cash raffle to benefit the St. James School on May 16, 2022, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow. And the third is an off-premise merchandise raffle to benefit the St. James School on May 16, 2022, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. at Fiddler's Elbow Country Club. Any questions or comments regarding those raffles? Seeing none, we have a motion to approve.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, let's go to monthly report discussion by subcommittee chair. We'll start with Committeeman Stevenson.
Thank you, Mayor. We had a historic preservation meeting. I was unable to attend due to a conflict, but Committeeman Hickey stepped in my stead. I had asked him to pitch in for me because one of the issues coming up he had some familiarity with, and that was the Elite project. Just to give you the long and short of it, you probably have seen driving by the property, there's it's got a retaining wall, I guess they call it a knee wall, that sort of faces the street there with the manufactured block. And there was an issue as to the material that they were using for that, so a stop order had been issued against the project. And some discussion with the builder about that. There was some disagreement or misunderstanding. And they're going to be going back to the land use board to square that away. So just give you a heads up, that's coming.
Actually, I do have an update on that.
Okay.
I do have an update that there was an email from the principal of Elite to Paul Farrow acknowledging that there was a misunderstanding and that they will be installing the stone veneer on that wall consistent with the plans and will not be coming to the land use board seeking a variance.
Perfect. That's a great result because, delay for everything is what we're trying to prevent here. We want that to be finished up and completed, but we want it done consistent, obviously, with the specs. Obviously, with COVID and procuring supplies, some costs have gone up. The developer was suggesting, they run some cost overruns, but, the position of the historic preservation was that the project needs to be completed as specified. So that's what we're going to do. Some other applications came forward, nothing really noteworthy, but it was good because we didn't have a meeting the prior month because there wasn't any application. Separately, attended the shared court meeting with mayor between the last meeting and this meeting, set the budget. Everyone was on board with that, so that's going along smoothly. And that's the updates I've got for this time.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Committeewoman Ureski.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple of dates to put on your calendar for the Friends of Jacobus Vanderveer House. The Field of Honor this year is on May 14th, and they're looking forward to participating in the Bedminster Fall Fest, which we know is on October 22nd. And this year, the Colonial Christmas tree lighting will be on December 3rd. So get those in your calendars. And just a quick shout out to, I'm going to choke up, the Bedminster Fire Department and the Bar Hills Bedminster Fire Department and Bar Hills Bedminster First Aid Squad. Thank you so much, guys. They put on a fabulous dinner, the 2022 annual dinner. It was an amazing event. Everybody was there. Everybody had a good time. Food, some drinks, a great DJ. A bunch of people got up and talked, and a bunch of people were honored. It is particularly striking to me that in the fire department, they gave out some awards. There were two gentlemen there who've been on the fire department and functioning. Jerry Bird, 60 years, and Ernest Bird, 65 years. What a testament to our volunteers in Bedminster. It was so exciting. And Far Hills Bedminster First Aid Squad, one of the Fall Fest people, Patty Segal, 25 years with the First Aid Squad. Again, we have amazing residents in our town. And I just want to say thank you for inviting us. And I hope I get invited again next year. It was a lot of fun.
And I did speak with my little birdies at the fire department, and they said you gave a great speech.
It was short.
Moving, and that, you shed tears at the right amount, at the right time.
They saved my neighborhood at one point in our history, and the Village Green Fire, they're an amazing group, and they save property and lives, and we are safer for them being here.
Great, thank you. Committeewoman Fernandez.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have a few updates. The first update is the Recreation Department update. This spring, there's a few programs going on: outdoor basketball for all ages, outdoor volleyball, and even a spring break fishing camp and multi-sports camp. Camp registration begins April 1st, which is next week, believe it or not. And returning staff has been confirmed, and they're set to hire 4 to 5 counselors this year. The Easter egg hunt is tentatively set for April 16th. However, they need sponsors. We need sponsors to offset the cost of that. So that's in the works. And there was a discussion about a tentative 5K to honor Bryce Rosen before Fall Fest on October 22nd. So speaking of Fall Fest, I had just a Fall Fest update, kind of reiterate that it will take place on October 22nd. And we just designed a new logo for Fall Fest, which is now hosted by Bedminster Township. And sponsorship letters will be going out soon, so we hope that we're able to secure some sponsors for this community day, basically. And there's a new stigma-free initiative that I'm working on here in Bedminster. I reached out to Mayor Canosa from Burnersville. I talked to her for a little bit. She put me in touch with Andy Williams from Community in Crisis, who was so excited to help us. Susan Visser from Community in Crisis can offer mental health first aid training for the community, which is such a a great way to really start off this initiative. And my plan is to follow up with them and also attend the Board of Health meeting in April to bring them in on the initiative.
That's great. And I do want to do a special thank you to Mayor Mary Jane Knows for bringing this to our attention. And thank you to Gina for picking this up and running with it. So thank you. My subcommittee report is going to be very short. As Doug mentioned, we attended the shared court meeting, so we brought all the other court members in, Berners Township, Bernardsville, Peapack, and Gladstone. Robin did a great job running through the budget. We also brought in the judge and some of the clerk to just walk through the operations of the court, how it's working in conjunction with the state system, and it seems to be proceeding very well. And it was good to see that we had all the municipalities sign on board for this year's budget. And with that, Ms. Ray, may we please have the administrator's report?
I'm going to be very brief as well. I'm happy that the Board of Budget was passed and that is behind us. So 2 out of 3 budgets so far this year, 1 to go. And the other, very quickly, is the Bedminster Tax Assessor's Office has commenced the 2022 reassessment inspections for the tax year of 2023. And we have posted on our website the various neighborhoods that the inspectors will be going around. They all have IDs, they're using their personal cars, and if anybody has any questions, they can call the tax assessor's office. And that's all I have for my report tonight.
Okay, thank you. We have one ordinance to introduce, which is ordinance number 2021-002, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. This ordinance provides that a municipality may, when authorized by ordinance, appropriate the difference between the amount of its actual final appropriation and the 3.5% percentage rate as an exception to its final appropriations in either of the next 2 succeeding years. If this ordinance is introduced, the public hearing for this ordinance will be scheduled for April 4, 2022 at 7 p.m. Ms. Ray?
Sure.
That's a mouthful, and I think I've read that for the last 4 years, and I know Steve read it for the 6 years before that.
Correct. So this is something that we do every year. It's kind of an insurance policy should we need to use it, which we never have. However, it allows municipalities to go above the 2% cap. This year, the cap is 2.5%, but it allows municipalities to go over that 2.5%, up to 3.5%. However, it needs to be done with an ordinance in advance in anticipation that you may or may not use that insurance policy. So we do it every year regardless whether we use it or not.
Right, so it doesn't mean that we're going to exceed the cap on appropriations. It just means that if we needed to, that we've given ourselves the opportunity with the cap bank. Any questions or comments?
Yeah, real quick. We had discussed this in the past, the year's budgets, and we banked money, and we reserved for money, banked money. Is this saying that I know we don't anticipate it, but is it saying it's only up by a maximum of 1%? In other words, if we had to, we're saying we're authorizing going over 2.5 by 1%? Is that what we're saying?
So usually it's 2% cap. It's been raised this year to 2.5.
Right.
And so it's 1 point higher. That's correct.
And I understood from...
So instead of being 3, it's 3.5.
Okay, and I'm sorry, maybe I misheard. The 3.5 would be the cap, like the max cap?
The max.
I see, okay.
Right.
That's it, okay, that's fine.
Okay. Any other questions or comments? If not, may we have a motion to introduce ordinance 2021-002?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Public hearing will be scheduled for April 4th. And we do have a public hearing of an ordinance, which is ordinance number 2022-001, and this is an ordinance appropriating $24,000 for the Far Hills Bedminster Volunteer Fire Department, and this is $24,000 for the purchase of lighting tower upgrades. So, may we have motion to open the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, I think we've gone through this before, but Robin, if you just want to give us the 3-second version?
Sure. This is money that was appropriated in last year's capital budget, in the 2021 capital budget, separate from what we're discussing for this year's budget. $24,000 for a light tower to be installed on an existing fire truck.
So fire trucks arrive at a scene in the dark, the tower
Scene lighting.
goes up and illuminates an area around the fire truck. Certainly have heard from the fire department about its need and its utility. And as Robin said, we had appropriated this money from during last year's budget in 2021, so it is revenue neutral to the 2022 budget. Any questions or comments?
Does this specify which fire department? 6329?
It's Far Hills.
It's Far Hills.
Bedminster Volunteer Fire Department, X29.
I just know that particular department is up on the highways quite a bit, and with the rate of traffic up on the highways, I think, it's more pronounced, obviously, to get the safety for the firefighters. So.
Should it specify that in the ordinance, that it's?
It is.
That part?
It does specify that in the ordinance, that it's specifically for the Far Hills Bedminster Volunteer Fire Department.
It's in the explanation.
I see. Yep, there it is.
Okay, we'll open it up to the public for comments regarding the ordinance. Still no members of the public on
No members.
Zoom or in person.
I'm sure they all want it.
I will take a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
And if we can, may we please have a motion to approve ordinance number 2022-001.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez? And Mr. Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
And we have no items on the consent agenda, but we do have 2 resolutions that are not on the consent agenda, which is, we'll start with the first one, Resolution 2022-03. Oh, wait, the numbers are off a bit. Robin, the resolutions we have with us are 36 and 37.
I see that.
So we will go with what is,
036 is the part-time violations clerks, and 037 is the emergency temporary appropriations. We're just going to flip that around. A and B, we're going to flip.
okay, so we're going to go with resolution, so which is the right number?
So the authorizing if you wanted to stay in the order of where you're at, authorizing emergency temporary appropriations should be 2022-037. And that authorizes emergency temporary appropriations.
Okay, so resolution 2022-037 authorizes emergency temporary appropriations in the current fund in the total amount of $2,465,590.56, and in the sewer operating fund in the total amount of $130,000. Ms. Ray, just want to walk us through this resolution?
Sure. Every year, we start out the year with we're on a temporary budget, 26.25% of our budget from last year. We get to this time of year, and we need to start making additional expenditures. These are emergency temporary appropriations to hold us over until the budget is passed and adopted.
The sewer O&M part, the 120, is that taking into account the enhancement of the facilities that we're talking about, PPAC, Gladstone, and
So the emergency temporary resolutions for the sewer are also to pay the employees for the overtime on Saturdays to monitor the sewer plant, the sewer treatment plant, and the operations. It's not capital, it's strictly operations.
okay, and this is under the emergency plan. Are we anticipating then later in the year, once we adopt the full budget for the year, that will fund capital and all
And
that?
this is also for our sewer utility manager's salary.
Okay,
It's predominantly salaries and wages.
gotcha. Thank you.
Any further questions or comments? Seeing none, may I have a motion to approve Resolution 2022-037?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Now you should do a roll call vote,
Oh.
it's money.
It's
Oh,
money,
I'm so
right.
sorry. My
You
apologies.
need 2/3, so you need all
She was
four.
just checking to see if you were paying attention.
My
I'm paying
apologies.
attention.
Thank you.
I also,
Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, so
I was
now,
writing numbers down.
we're going to go to Resolution 2022-036. And this resolution authorizes the hiring of temporary part-time violations clerks in the shared municipal court. And this is for 3 individuals to be helping out in the shared court.
Correct.
Any questions or comments? Seeing none, may we have a motion to approve Resolution number 2022-036?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
And may we have a motion to approve the bill list pending review of individual invoices?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call vote again, please. Mr. Stevenson?
Aye.
Ms. Moreski?
Aye.
Ms. Fernandez?
Aye.
And Mayor Jacobs?
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on. New business.
I don't know if this is new business or not, but I figure I'd bring it up at this spot. So the EC is going to be donating, along with one of our residents, 4 trees. I believe 2 are slated to go somewhere in Miller Lane Park and 2 up here by the building/police department. I don't know if we all need to say, okay, we can do that, or if that just goes through DPW when they planned, or through you guys in DPW?
No, I just had a question.
Yeah.
Are they donating the trees because of like moisture issues? It's like the roots are gonna be, certain trees really need water and they plant trees to clear up soft spots. Is that what's going on? Or?
No, the 2 in Miller Lane will go next to one of the benches that's already, has names on it,
Oh.
and it's kind of in their name. And then the 2 trees that will come up here, I believe will be donated, and I don't want to give away the surprise, but
Okay.
will be donated in someone's name,
I see.
just for some additional beautification.
And not to be persnickety, but I always like donations, but do we know where we're putting these trees? And have they been approved by, folks who are making sure that the tree's not gonna be in the way for?
And that's why I bring it up here,
Yeah.
because I've never done that before, so I don't know what that process is.
Have they consulted with Public Works Manager Rodney and Catherine?
They are in the talks with him now. But I didn't know if our group needed to go thumbs up or thumbs down.
I guess I would need more information.
Okay.
I feel like there's a whole lot of information lacking, so not because it's just, I know nothing about trees or where they need to be planted or what,
Well, we
they
have a
absorb
tree
water or-
expert on the EC, and
Yeah.
he's gonna be telling us that.
Okay.
But I am happy, once that's been decided, to bring that back and let you know what they've decided.
Yeah.
I just want, I don't want the trees to just show up
Right.
and you guys not know about it.
Yeah.
Well, I think if there's a presentation to Rodney, and then Rodney reports back to us, then we can make to the extent that TC approval is sought, that we can certainly make that decision when Rodney meets with whoever is going to make the presentation to him.
Yeah.
from EC.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right.
And one other thing, in the circle at JVH, there's a tree that a big branch fell. DPW already took care of it. Does somebody from DPW need to be asked to prune it more? Because I think JVH was under the impression it was going to be pruned some more.
I'll talk to Ron.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That'd be great. Thank you very much.
Sure.
And that's all I got.
Okay. Anything else for new business? Old business, COVID, we've covered the numbers, DOT improvements. I did get an email from the chief, so if you all remember, I asked the chief to follow up with DOT on completing the improvements both at River Road and moving ahead for the similar improvements that we discussed at Hills Drive. And here's the report back from the chief. Gives his apologies, he has a conflict with tonight's meeting, but he did speak with Syed from DOT. And so regarding the intersection of 202 and 206 and River Road, the median signs, these are signs that will be going on the concrete, on essentially the Jersey barriers in between north and southbound. They've not been replaced because the state is still trying to find a solution for breakaway brackets on the cement median, and the issue that the larger signs would encroach into the travel lanes. So
You'll hit it if you're on that level.
right, if they do signs too big, cars might hit it, and DOT is still working on a solution for that. And then for the intersection of 202, 206 and Hills Drive, Syed is going to call me, meaning the chief, and schedule a meeting for review of those similar improvements. So this would be, once again, those are through lanes, north and southbound, other than for the dedicated left towards the DOT yard itself, and to make sure that folks aren't making illegal U-turns or illegal lefts from the southbound side instead of using the jug handle. So similar to the jug handle up at River Road, make it nice and clear. So when you do make the illegal left, you are doing so in complete contravention of signs and arrows and everything else that's out there. It may still happen, but at least there'll be hopefully appropriate signage to catch most of the people that are trying to do that. So that's what I have on the DOT improvements. Utilities, I did speak with Colin. Altice is still trying to put together a schedule to meet with the homeowners association so that they can identify what they would do to actually install the fiber in the association. So it's not just we want to come in and we want to install fiber, it would go here, this is the disruption that it might bring to your landscaping or your parking or whatever else. So Colin is coordinating with Altice, and hopefully that is moving quickly. I don't think there's any updates on JCP&L. And on the New Jersey American Water, the status of their project, you're probably in a much better position than anyone else.
I can report that phase one of the Ski Hill project seems to be complete. The infrastructure and piping that they had out there is all gone. I think the next phase is to circle back around and then start working on the individual connections. So they've got the main laid out, and now they've got to do the probably more time-consuming work of tying in and connecting each of the houses. But
so those houses, how many were not already connected?
to water,
Yeah.
I think everybody had water. I don't think anyone's
Okay.
got a well up there. But the first phase was to lay the new main down, and then they come back with all the individual hookups for each of them.
Okay, so they're not doing the connections as they pass each house, they're going to come back.
They get
Okay,
the loop with the main, and then they're circling back. So, you know, it will continue, but as I reported last time, the subcontractor on the job is doing a phenomenal job.
Yeah, we've not heard,
It's so fast.
we have not
Like,
heard any
no
complaints.
mailboxes knocked over, and they're so fast. I mean, if you think about like where I live, it was like 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, so that your guys have been really quick. So that's great.
They're amazing.
No, it really is, and really, look, for both situations, we had pre-construction meetings. Right, so we had pre-con meetings with their team before they did Deer Haven and Old Dutch. And it may just be, well, I'm not saying it may, it's a function of the contractors. So the contractors paid attention and they had the appropriate oversight from NJW on Ski Hill, not so much on
No, but that's great.
Deer
you
Haven.
know.
So good to see that they listened
Yes.
to us
Yes.
when we made those complaints about the Deer Haven experience. PSE&G, any updates?
No, I just report out on the last update. It was, in case you don't remember, the completed applications have been submitted to the Gas Technical Division at this point for review and response.
Okay.
They were out
Um,
measuring,
yeah, they-
so they're doing their due diligence.
Yeah,
Oh, good.
so it
They were
just
out
takes time, I
measuring
guess.
some of the distances, so I know up on Ski Hill, which were probably unlikely, they didn't have a lot of interest, but we had gas partly in the street, so they're not coming from, wherever it ends, I mean, it's already there, so.
Well, it's on the highway too, right? So,
It comes up 206, right, and then it comes off onto our street, right, where it splits, it ends sort of one house down,
So, right.
right at the Y, if
Okay.
you will, right? So, saw a gentleman out there the other day making some calculations, throwing some paint in the ground, you have PSE&G on, so.
Good,
It's coming, it's working its way through.
good. Pluckin Park Housing.
Yes, since last meeting, I had the opportunity to speak with Mr. Velardo. We're on the same page. I then followed up with Abe, who is the property manager, explained that, yes, we're, ready to hear them out, but as opposed to them coming to us and asking what it is we want, they have to come with a proposal. And they understand that it's not just cosmetic things, it's got to be something substantive, something that's capital, something that justifies the request. So he had already gotten back to me and said they're putting it together, so we're going to try to set up a meeting for probably next week. John, I'll let you know if you can attend
I'm around.
remotely. No need to be there in person, I think, just remotely would be great.
Okay, good. All right, with that, we'll proceed to Township Committee comments, and Doug, since you're already, you've got the microphone, go ahead.
Sure, my only comment was to remind you that PTO is putting on the Spring Fling event. It's a great event, even if you don't have children in the school, come support. Lots of really neat gift ideas, and the baskets there. And, come watch the Stevensons win multiple baskets. we tend to have good luck with that, so no one likes us anymore at that event, but it's fun. We like it.
Ms. Moreski.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was
Go ahead.
April 1st. Sorry.
We'll put that down. Again, just thank you to our fire department and first aid squad for all that you guys do for our town. That's all I got.
I have no comments tonight. Thank you, Mayor.
And I have no comments. We do not have an executive session. It is 7:34. Take a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Thank you.
Second.
Second, all in favor, everyone? And good night. Thank you.